Hello everyone, Noctem0 here, and today I'm talking about Resident Evil 2, if you can tell from the thumbnail, title, and all that stuff. Yeah, it's specifically the remake. I was at work, like I did with Devil May Cry, and when this dropped, and I was blown away, but I couldn't really talk about it up until now, and I gotta say, I am beyond ecstatic. Now, for one, I'm a little disappointed at, or at least I was at first, that they were going back to Resident Evil 4 through 6 type of gameplay with over the shoulder, including Revelation stuff. Now, at first I was against it. I didn't want to see that initially before I saw it, because I kept thinking I didn't feel more terrified unless I didn't see what was coming at me. Because playing with the switch camera stuff like in old school Resident Evil, even the remake and Zero, those games were terrifying because you felt claustrophobic. You didn't know how to defend yourself like you would in any other case, because it felt like you could kick more ass with the more freedom of movement that you were given with an over-the-shoulder look. Now, that whole opinion had changed the moment I saw the first trailer, then the Japanese trailer, which I also want to comment that I like that they're keeping up with what they did with 7 by calling it Biohazard RE2, where in Japan it's Biohazard Resident Evil 7, or Biohazard 7 Resident Evil, and over here it's Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. I mean, I can see why the Western part of the world we didn't just do the same thing and keep Biohazard as a subtitle, because it might have looked redundant. But as for Japan, it just makes more sense. But still, I like seeing Biohazard RE2. Anyway, in terms of gameplay, from what I've seen, it looks awesome. I watched the 11-minute gameplay that they showed, and like I said, the Japanese trailer even showed how many zombies can actually be coming at you. There was nothing similar to how Resident Evil 4 through 6 played, where you can do like quick time attacks and whatnot. I mean, there might be, but as far as I saw, there aren't. So it looks like you're more or less limited. If I could compare that to anything, it's more like the first Revelations, because in Revelations I noticed that even if I shot him in the head or something like that, I couldn't like do a follow-up attack. So at least in that regard, it feels like it plays like that. But another cool thing is that they're using the RE engine like they did in 7. And as a side note for Devil May Cry, Devil May Cry uses the RE engine as well. So it's pretty sick that they're using their new engine, and they're using it really well. Leon looks really good in terms of his appearance. I mean, he does look like a rookie cop. We're going back to playing the original Resident Evil 2. That was fun. That was incredible for me. And I'm wondering, is Leon still coming into work from out of town, being transferred in, or was he always in Raccoon City and it just got progressively bad? From, like I said, judging from what they showed in the trailers, it looks like he's kind of making his way to the Raccoon City Police Department. And I'm wondering if it's going to have a semi-open worldness to it, kind of like the Evil Within 2, because they show that the city's pretty massive, and who knows if you can explore a little bit of what you can before you have to pretty much explore the police department. As like I said, and another thing I have to say, Resident Evil 2 from the original, that one I will have to say was the goriest of the Resident Evils. Now, anyone can argue that the other ones were pretty bad. No, they never showed brain matter being blown to bits in any other games. Everything was always like a quick spurt or something, because even though it got a mature rating, yeah, you're seeing monsters getting torn apart, not really people. So they can make it look it, but it didn't look all ugh. Now Resident Evil 2, though, from the gameplays for the remake, that is, I mean, they're showing like innards being ripped out, throats being ripped open, and just the injuries look amazing. And that's what Resident Evil 2 is known for, being, at least from what I remember, the bloodiest in the franchise. I mean, I remember when you died in Resident Evil 2 from the zombies, they just show you being eaten alive and all that stuff. Like you'll see all the whole swarm of them just surround your body and tear you apart, and that was always, even back then, that was always fun to watch. Like I hated losing, but it was like, God damn, they're really going after him. Or just seeing the different death animations, those were always pretty cool. But now with this, what else can I say about it? I mean, let's see. There's no alternate scenarios that they're doing from what I've seen or heard. That is, sorry, I'm a little tired. Uh, so they said that they're no longer doing scenario A and B like they did in Resident Evil 2 original. I will miss being able to switch or have 4 different playthroughs of Resident Evil 2, but at least they cut it down, most likely because of time constraints. Uh, because I like how whatever you did in one scenario would slightly affect how things turned out in the other scenario, but not by much, just a few item drops here or there. But I did have fun with the alternate scenarios nonetheless. I'm just really hoping that they're not going to do some kind of stupid swap off where on one section I'll play as Claire, one section I'll play as Leon. That to me would just be total laziness, and it probably won't be worth its money's worth, because it's a full price game for a remaster or a remake. So it's kind of got me a little iffy, but I'm really hoping it's just you can choose between Claire or Leon and you start from there. Most likely I'm going to be playing as Leon first, just because I want to see how his campaign goes compared to Claire's. I'm really excited to see what else they're going to do. I can't wait to see what Mr. X does in the game, because he looks pretty freaking terrifying, especially with that fedora they gave him. It's just, I don't know, it just seems more out there than what it was in the original. I mean, I'm really happy to see Marvin Branagh make a comeback, and it looks like he has more involvement in the game. The DLC costumes that they promised and the pre-order bonuses and stuff, it sounds pretty promising. I'm really looking forward to this particular Resident Evil. I mean, I've been wanting the sequel remake since they did the original remake, and I just gotta say that out of all the Resident Evils, Resident Evil 2 Classic was the one I've beaten butt ton of times. But anyway, there's not too much else I can really talk about. I mean, oh god, it looks like it's gonna be a fun game. The RE engine looks like it's really gonna make this one of the best Resident Evils to come out since 7. I mean, 7 was a nice course correction, and I just cannot wait to see what else we're gonna get down the road. Perhaps Resident Evil 3 remaster as well. That would be awesome, because a lot of us fans really want to see how Resident Evil, what other remasters they can do. Well, I mean, that's as far as they can go. Just don't bother remaking 4, 5, and 6, because they're fine where they're at. But yeah, this is awesome. Really can't wait to see more. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.